Hey, hi everyone. Good morning. Good morning. Let's turn my lights down here. All right. Thank you guys for hopping on. I know it's super early, but you guys showing up and being here is step one, right? And that's kind of what we're going to go through today, the extreme importance of showing up, the Valley events, all the good stuff. Good morning, you guys. I'm super excited for this because I know that me and my panel speakers are just fired up. So I hope you guys are ready, and you guys can hear me, right? Okay, because I don't have my camera set up, so just making sure. Okay, to start this off, you guys, we're going to start off with some gratitude. I'm going to go ahead and start, and then I'm going to pass it down to some of my speakers. I am short a speaker today from what you see, and she had a little stuff happen this morning. Completely fine. We're going to roll with it. So it is just me, Tiff, and Ida. Have we seen, do we have Blaze? Tiff,
I haven't seen her.
All right. Well, we might be named too. We shall see. All right, we got this. Let's do this damn thing, you guys. Okay, so first thing, gratitude, you guys. I am gonna get right to the point. I am extremely grateful to be on the plane again and around Thrivers. I personally took a just a little bow out of the entire summer of zero traveling. It was just something that I said to my children after I was literally on the plane every week or every other week from February to June. So the end of June, me and my family bowed out from traveling until last weekend to the Dallas. I can't even talk this morning, to the Texas Dallas local. And you know, it just opened my eyes again. It gave me a huge spark that I absolutely needed. And I am so grateful to have events and have this opportunity to be around everybody and to talk with everybody and to not only help build our businesses, but build our mind and our, you know, our life. There's Blaze. Hi, beautiful. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and pass it to Tiff for gratitude, and then she can go on to Blaze. And we'll go on with Lavelle events.
All right, so you guys, this morning, actually yesterday, but I'll share this morning. I just had a moment where, you know, my youngest had another appointment, and I sat down and I was like, in 5.5 years of me being a mother, I have never had to have somebody else take my kids to appointments. I've never missed a single appointment. And I know for a fact, you guys, if Lavelle had not come into my life, I mean, truly 5 years ago, because Brittany bugged me for an entire year before I joined. But if I would not have said yes almost 4 years ago, I would be at a 9-to-5 right now. I know that for a fact. So it was just a moment of gratefulness of, you know, stepping back and looking, you know, where I was before Lavelle and where I am now. So yeah, that's my gratitude this morning. Blaze.
Blaze, are you able to unmute, honey, and say what you are grateful for this morning? Oh, did I lose her? All right.
Where did she go?
She said bye. Maybe she's having some technical difficulty, I'm sure. But hopefully she can get back on to tell us a little bit about the local that she attended as well. But you guys, I hope that every one of you woke up this morning with something to be grateful about. I know I'm grateful to be watching Miss Kimberly beating her face. Yeah, girl, get it. Moving on to Lavelle news, you guys. Y'all know, I'm sure we went over all of this on Monday, but the customer frenzy is still going on until the end of the month. So get those new people, you guys. This is such a great freaking push. I'm not going to go on a rant because I can absolutely go on a rant about the frenzy, but don't forget about the new frenzy promotion going on. This Saturday, we have Super Saturday training. this goes along with everything we are going to stress to this morning. You guys just get on it, okay? Get on something. Okay, it's not that long. You absolutely can do it. So it's 10 a.m. Central Standard Time on Saturday, another Super Saturday training. And then we have some Lavelle locals going on. And that's kind of what we're going to shove down your throats this morning. Let me see, October 8th and 9th, we have a Lavelle local in Minnesota. And then there's also Lavelle local in the New York area coming up November 9th, 8th, 9th, 10th, around there. Don't quote me. Ish in New York. So definitely get to them, you guys. Okay. Don't care. I don't care what it is that you need to move around in your life. I guarantee you it is important. It is going to, I mean, we're going to go over all that today, how important it is and what it's going to do for you. Let me see here. What do I don't think I'm missing anything in the Bell News. I think that's all that we got going on. Let's get on to this morning. Okay. I'm excited, y'all, and I'm excited because I'm fired up. And the reason why I'm freaking fired up at 5:45 in the morning, it's not a Brittany strike thing. You guys, this past weekend, we had the Texas local and we also had the Toledo local. So I was able to be at the DFW local, and then Blaze and Tiffany were at the Toledo local. So we're going to kind of just recap the important stuff, the important information that we took away from that, and just how amazing it was. Our fourth speaker was also at Texas. Hopefully maybe we can get some of her keynotes and I can share them in the Dream Team as well. So DFW local, Drew was there. It was amazing. Honestly, it really is like a little mini conference with the fact that we have panel speakers. We have people that they're up there talking for a reason. They have key points. They know how to weave you through their topic and their situation that they are talking to you guys about. I don't remember how many speakers there were in Toledo, but Tiff can go over all of that. You guys, it's freaking important. Okay. I know that I saw a couple people on my team, and during the lunch break, I went up to them and I was like, so how are you feeling? Like, how do you like this? I know I've been to like 1.5 million locals, but newbies, I'm like, tell me what you think. Tell me how you feel. And they're like, wow. They had like 3.5 pages of notes by like 11:30 a.m. And they're like, I just can't believe everyone's story. And one of the girls in my downline that were there, she was like almost in tears. She's like, I just resonate so much with that person's story and I want to quit every day. But now after hearing her, I'm not going to quit. Like, not even lying, just because she got her butt there. And she resonated with one of the panelist speakers about having an unsupportive spouse. Y'all, raise your freaking hand if you've been there of having an unsupported spouse. Like, she was like teary-eyed. And I don't allow people to cry around me, so I stopped that real fast. But it does something for you, you guys. Like, there's gonna be one thing that is said or sparked where it's gonna stick with you. And I say that all the time about Zooms as well. I'm like, get on a Zoom because there's gonna be one thing said. There's gonna be one thing that happens that's gonna resonate with you. I also had the honors of not only sitting down and talking with Drew for a while, who I harassed a lot about the new product coming out. You guys, I can't tell you shit because I don't know anything. Just saying, he wouldn't spill the beans with me. But other than Drew being there, Maria Diller was also there. And one of my biggest things that resonated with me that I'm going to tell you guys, maybe you guys do this. Maybe you guys, I've heard this 1,000,000 times. I don't know if I've heard it 1,000,000 times or not, but for some reason it clicked in my mind. Maybe I just needed to hear it from her to click in my mind. But we were at a dinner Friday and she was saying how, someone was talking about the overcoming obstacles part of the panel speaking for the next day, and she was somebody asked her about like stuff that she's dealt with in the past with skeptics and, you know, haters or people not even believing that it works. And she said, you know, I don't give any other statement other than just try putting this product in your body. Not only just like trust me, or it does blah, 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 blah for you, or look at all of these results and testimony. She's like, you got to just put this product in your body. I'm like, that is freaking simple. And I'm going to say that till I die. Just put this damn product in your body. And that is it. So I loved that. I'm going to go ahead and pass it over to Tiff to give like her little summarization or some snippets of Toledo, and then we'll let Blaze talk and we'll just go from there.
So Toledo was very different than Texas, you guys. Toledo, we had, I don't know the number of people. I think it was like 25 to 30 people total, 8 speakers. And it was just very different than any other local or event that I had been to. I had been to Toledo back in January of 2020, and it was insane, you guys. Like the dinner on Friday, the local part on Friday night was literally standing room only. And this one was very different, but it was so good because you had that one-on-one time. You had that time to talk to everybody. You got to know the person sitting next to you. You know, you got that one-on-one time with Lisa, Chas, and Courtney. So it was very refreshing how simple it truly, truly was. The number of people was low, but what I took away from it, I've never had a local where I felt so good afterwards, because it was just, I truly believe the number of people really, really helped, because we were able to, you know, pour into who was there. We did the same. I talked about overcoming obstacles. In fact, it's funny because that was the first thing I talked about was, you know, my husband. He was not exactly happy that I joined Lavelle, and that's what, you know, I had talked about, and he dropped me off in his auto bonus truck, you know. Now he believes. But yeah, we did a lot of Q&As, we did social media. It was refreshing. Blaze, what did you think? I think this was your first event, right?
This was my first local. Can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. This was my first local, and I was happy that I was there and I got to meet these wonderful people. Also, I learned a lot, and it was so very informative. And yes, it was like a one-on-one, and it was, to me, it was great. I did go to Thrive-Palooza, but there was a lot of people, but this one was more small, and literally you could ask a lot of questions and get the feedback and listen to all the different stories that was going on. There's a lot of things I got from it. One thing that really stuck with me was I think it was Courtney that said nurture them like a mother and protect them like a father. Follow-ups are very, very important. And so sometimes you do have to nurture them like a mother and protect them like a father while they're using the steps or as you're getting that customer. And that stuck with me. Also, don't vomit, thrive also stuck with me. So if you want to market the ingredients, speak about the ingredients in it, because a lot of people are looking up ingredients like zinc and the vitamin B12, aloe, or elderberry. A lot of people out here, especially where I live in Ohio, love their elderberry. market that. I mean, so it's different things you could do instead of just thrive every day. I also took ask questions and then shut up because I could just talk. But you ask them questions so that way you find out what are their needs. And then you just shut up and let them talk to you. Let them tell you exactly what they need. What is it that they do? What kind of jobs? How active they are? So yes, just listen to your customer. Feel, felt, and found. I know how you feel. I felt that way too. Life is going to be scary. So I mean, these are little tidbits and little golden nuggets that I found that were helpful to me, especially follow-ups. And always try to evaluate yourself every day. Are you doing or hearing something that is making you grow?
I love that, Blaze. Thank you so much, you guys. I want to see a hands up if you have never attended a local event or a local gathering, not conference, but if you've never been to a local, let's put some comments in the thread saying you've never been able to attend. Blaze, okay, perfect. Or you just, yeah, you've never been to a local, never experienced it. So those of you that have not, I literally beg you to just do it. Okay. It was Blaze's first local. And look at what she took away. I point this way because that's where you are on my screen. But you guys, it's so important. Bring some friends with you, bring some family, bring that person. Like I have 2 people that are in like a 10-mile radius of me. Y'all, I've been a Thriver for 5 years next month. I'm done it all, and I have 2 locals that were about 10 miles away from me, acquaintances of mine, that just won't try the product, always ask, always vote on my stuff, are always interactive. I've known them since kindergarten. I'm like, yo, you clearly are a pain in the butt about even trying this product. Just come to the local with me. So as of now, they're committed to the local, because if they're not, I need to try something different, right? If they're not going to take this product from me, if I shove it down their throat, maybe if they come hear it from somebody else, that's exactly what they need, right? Bring people to the local. So I don't know if you're a 80K or 200K on here and y'all got that emergency text from Jason saying, hey, emergency call in 20 minutes the other day. But y'all, that was fun. You guys, Jason had an emergency call with us leaders the other day about the importance of showing up, the importance of, if you want to be a leader and be the leader that your people are going to become, get your ass to these locals. That was all his call was about. He said, get there and get there now. So I really hope that you guys understand the importance of getting to these events. And, there's all of these events you end up knowing months in advance, right? Like we have all these events planned out. You can move something around. You can change something. This is more important than some things. You know what I mean? And let me just throw out there, like I have a whole Texas team in Texas that did not attend because it was 2 hours away. Ugh. Well, Shannon drove over 8 hours to attend Toledo. So come at us again with how that's a problem. You know what I mean? Like if you want to grow, if you want to be on that millionaire stage and grab that millionaire banner, at one point or the other, or if you just want to quit your job, or if you just want to pay off your credit card debt, whatever it is, get your butt to a local, okay? Or contact support on how, if there's no local around you, then make one, okay? Make one. Okay, I'm not gonna, yell at you guys all morning, but him yelling at me got me yelling at you. But there's so many fun key points, you guys. At the DFW local, we had about 100 people. I think at one point we counted like 107. Drew was there. We had Mario Dillard, and Amber Mainquist, and Courtney Glazier actually hosted it, and I thought that was so much fun. I talked to Courtney Glazier a couple times, but it's really nice to see what her team does, y'all. Courtney Glazier's team is like insane for growth, and just like Lisa and Chas's team here. So it's really good to see what other teams do. So let's talk a little bit. I know Tiffany and Blaze, I'm gonna keep referring to Tiffany because we're on this all day, but I want to get yours firsthand. I know Tiffany experienced a little bit of this also, but let's talk a little bit about what it's like to meet new people at these local events, and the people that you see here on these morning Zooms that you never really met in person. You're like, oh, hi, you're you. Because I know at Dallas, I met so many people, and it's nice to see them in person, whether you talk to them on social media all the time or not, or if it's brand new people. You guys, I have met some of my lifelong best friends from Thrive. I have a tattoo with my homegirl in Canada. Like, that is like the life that Thrive has given me, and will absolutely give each and every one of us. We just need to stay involved. So, Tiffany, I know you had a little bit of you were able to meet some brand new people that you had never met before, and just tell me a little bit about like what that's like for you.
Yeah, it's actually a funny story. So I'm gonna call her out. April was sitting across the not even the restaurant. We were in a little room, but across the room. And you guys, I brought my family to the local part on Friday night because I wanted my husband to experience this experience. And I'm gonna tell a little story real quick, and then I'll go into the other thing. So my husband's he won't take, the only product he will use is Rest. Okay. Like anything else, he's just like not interested. Okay. We left this local, and he's talking to Lisa and Chas about marketing to hunters and fishermen. I'm like, who are you? Like, he's like, we need to get this in their hands. I'm like, you do you, boo. Like, go do it. He's like, can you make the graphic? I'm like, duh. Like, that's what a local can do. He literally has zero interest in taking anything but Rest. To now he's marketing. He's in all these groups. He's like, I'm going to market this in these groups. I'm like, slow down, Tiger. Okay. We have rules. There's some rules in groups. Okay. But that's what a local can do. But anyway, going back to Friday night. So we were sitting there, mind you, I have a 5-year-old and a 2-year-old. And I seen April, and she was pointing to us, and I was like, oh shit, what did my kids do? Like, where are they? Did somebody do something? And she came up to me later, and she goes, you're the morning girl. And I'm like, yeah. I'm like, is that why you were pointing? Like, I didn't have anything in my teeth or anything. But it was so funny. It was just like, it was reality that people actually knew, who I was, knew my name, knew my voice. Just from doing the readings for the first go around, the first book we read, 100 Days to Brave. So that was really, really cool and I had a few people come up to me and be like, oh yeah, you're on the morning Zooms, and it was so cool to meet you guys. It was so cool because we're on these morning Zooms. This is how I start every Monday, Wednesday, Friday that I can, is with you guys. And it's so cool to be in front of you, to give you a hug, to actually put a face to the box that I see. You know what I mean? And it was another moment of reality for me to walk into that church, because like I said, I was at the same church back in January of 2020. And my mindset back then was, I'm just this little promoter that, nobody really knows about. And I stuck to myself. That was the first time the night before I'd ever met Chas or Lisa or anybody. And I stuck to myself. Like, I was very uncomfortable just because I didn't think that, they were approachable, or it wasn't anything they did. It was just my mindset, you guys. To be back in that space because of the self-development I've been able to do, because of the growth within me, I was able to stand up there and speak on not one, but 2 topics. And it was just, I had a moment on Saturday, and I know I already shared this on Monday, but you're welcome. You get to hear it again. It was just a moment of, wow, this is why we do self-development. This is why we grow. You need to step out of your comfort zone to grow. Because my first time meeting Lisa, Chas, Courtney, I was very uncomfortable because I thought that they didn't really, they're like Lavelle celebrities. Like, who do they, they don't care. Yes, they do, you guys. It's insane. They care so much. All of your leaders are there for you. So it was just a moment of, holy crap, in a year and a half's time, I gave myself a pat on the back. I was like, look at the growth. And I'm having this conversation with myself. You know what I mean? Like, just like, look at the growth that I became uncomfortable for a little bit, but look what I was able to accomplish. You know what I mean?
My little butterfly has spread her wings. You know what's actually funny? Okay, I'm gonna say this real quick before we move on to Blaze. I absolutely called your butt out in Texas, Tiff. Yep, I did that. I was actually on the social media panel in Texas, and Tiff's probably gonna roll her eyes, but of course I brought up groups. I brought up how to expand your business via groups, and Tiff is talking about how to get out of your comfort zone and do something new, and it's growing her business, right? Well, Tiffany has another little key moment of, maybe about maybe 3 years, Tiffany. Every time I talked about growing your network through groups, Tiffany would, roll her eyes at me and like scold me because she hated groups so bad, right? Because it wasn't working. So little did we know, every single day, Tiffany was posting recipes in her stories. Always. You go to her social media, she has a recipe in her story. So I was like, are you in cooking groups? Are you in recipe mama groups? Oh, no, I didn't think about that. And boom, she goes starting into that market, and she starts gaining followers and getting people that way. So trying something new. Shannon, do you have a recharge on your forehead? Ah, okay. Oh my God. I'm like, what is on you? But you know what? Tiffany tried something new, not only going to a local, but like, hey, you can't be doing the same thing over and over again and expect different results. Right, Tiff?
Yes, she was right. And you guys, it wasn't, I was that person, groups don't work. I wasn't working the right groups. Mm-hmm. I was marketing more towards mom groups, and mom groups are brutal, you guys. Like it's rough. It's rough territory. When you start to get into, your other 5 things. So if you're a mom, that's awesome. Get out of that. Okay. Mom groups are negative. They are not what you need. Okay. Dig into one of your other 5 things. For me, I have to cook every day because these people are vultures. Like they need to eat every day. I don't know why, but I have to cook. And it was just as simple as, sharing it. It was as simple as I was seeing people posting, I don't know what to make for dinner tonight. Tell me what to make for dinner tonight. And I was like, I'm making dinner. They had a need. I had the solution. You know what I mean? And it was just, it's easy. And it's something that I wish that I had, just somebody going quick, here's what you need, here's what you do, done. Okay. Because I mean, I have nights I hate to cook. Like, it's not fun all the time, but if you see a need, provide the solution. And you had said something a while back about, you know, some people didn't attend the locals. You guys, for me, if there's a local within 8 hours, I'm doing everything I can to be there. Locals for me are non-negotiable just because of what it does, not only for my business, but what it does for me personally. I mean, Minnesota is, I think, 13 or 14 hours away. And I am trying everything I can to be in Minnesota just because of how this last one it sparked, not even a spark. It was a freaking backyard bonfire. Okay. Like, that's the level that it took me to. And I needed that. So you don't know you need it until you're there. You have to get there, get in the room, make these events non-negotiable for not only your business, for you. It is so important. Like Brittany said, this is not the time to pull out the, book of excuses. Get your butt in a room. Okay, I'm done.
For real. I mean, if you're my personally enrolled or you're my downline, I've been posting the Minnesota local, every day, twice a day. Like, y'all are coming, right? Y'all are registered, like threatening. This is imperative. This is a point. I mean, Jason even said it, y'all. Jason preached to us. So I'm going to fire that back at you guys. If you want to grow, if you're saying, hey, I'm all in, are you all in or not? Well, this is where you prove that you're all in. You know what I mean? Blaze, can you please tell us, with this being your first local that you were able to attend aside from conference, what was it like for you to meet people that you've never met before, that you've seen behind the screen, that, we all have our social media friends, but like to actually be in a room with all of those people and meet everyone. What was that like for you?
I was really nervous. I kept, like Tiffany said, to myself a little bit. I pulled back. Literally, like, I was like, "Ooh, that's Lisa, that's Chaz," but I'm just gonna sit over here at this table. And then when Tiffany came in with the family, I was like, "Oh, that's Tiffany. I know her," because of the Zooms. And I'm like, it was really nice to get to meet them and know them. And they literally took a chance and sat next to me, and we spoke for a little bit. So that was good too, because I wouldn't have sat next to them, and I was too nervous for that. But they came to the table I was sitting at, and they sat with me, and we spoke for a while, and we took pictures and everything, and that was nice too. I mean, meeting everybody, and the different faces from Friday night to Saturday, it was different, and it was just really nice, like really nice. My husband didn't go the first night, but he was there the second day on Saturday. He was there for the day with me, so that was nice too.
I love that. And you guys, let's touch a little bit about and Blaze and Tiffany can take this topic a little bit more than I can. But let's talk a little bit about, like, hey, you guys have that spouse that is iffy-ish, skeptic, punching you a little bit about this business, not physically, but you know what I mean? Like giving you a hard ass time about being in network marketing, right? Very normal. Drew even said on stage, she's like, it's hard for men. It is difficult. It's a situation. And so bringing them to these events, now Tiffany's husband is like a little promoter himself, trying to go 200K with all the fishing guys. And Blaze brought her husband. You guys, bring those people. If you have a mom, a sibling that is skeptical or giving you a hard time about this business, well, let's show their ass up a little bit, right? I mean, I'm sure all of you know my sister Stephanie Gracic. Her and her husband spoke on a couples panel, and they touched base on this was a moment where like everyone in the audience were like, what? Even Mario Dillard screamed. But they were talking about a spouse being skeptical and how hard it was and the obstacles of, getting through that. And Steph was like, yep, I told him I'm doing this and I don't want to go back to work ever. And I want to live my life. And then she passed it over to him and he just kind of had all the eyes on the room on him. Like, what is wrong with you? And he straight up said, he's like, I was so against it. I didn't even try the product for the first 2 years. You guys, Stephanie was a 200K within 2 years. So even when Stephanie got, I think like $180,000 bonus from the payouts within her first 2 years, and he still didn't try the product. Yo, freaking mic drop, right? So even though she was, staying home, bringing in the money that they had agreed to, he was still a pain in the ass about trying the product. Now homeboy will not go a freaking day without that vanilla shake. Bet every time I go over there, he's just shaking up another thing before his workout. He won't go a day without his product. I forget what they said the exact eye-opener for him was. That he finally broke down and tried the product years later. I'm sure she threatened him, her. But as you guys can see, like Tiffany's husband, like bringing him to these events, bringing those skeptics to these events, let's be real. That's the biggest point of what these locals are for. They're not necessarily created and meant for, all these promoters. They're meant to bring non-thrivers in and to get them thriving, get them seeing this opportunity, get them feeling and touching and loving this product. Tiff, I know you said about like the big, like how Jeff is so much, now he's wanting to promote. Was there a specific thing that like was his aha moment? Did you guys talk at all about like what it was? I know that you said you just saw him ran off and interviewing Lisa and trying to get marketing going, but was there a specific thing or was it just the energy of being in the room?
Honestly, I think it was just the energy of being in the room and the swig of moonshine he took before we left. He was so nervous, you guys. And we just came from Tennessee and I'm like, listen, because he was like, do you want to drink? I'm like, you know what? I'm comfortable. You go ahead. Okay. So I think it was a little bit of liquid courage, but a lot of motivation, a lot of seeing other people, seeing the product somewhere other than on our countertop, because they had, the table there of product. He tried the new thirst. He felt the energy. Okay. He felt the energy of the other thrivers and the stories he heard of other thrivers. Maybe some of them, okay, hold on. There was a couple other male thrivers there that, same story. They're like, I didn't want to take it, but I needed it. And it was one of those things where he was like, yes, dear. Elsa? Okay. He needed to hear that what it was doing for other people. But yeah, he was up talking to Lisa and Chaz about hunting, and they're like, okay. They're like, all right. Like, I don't see Lisa hunting. I'm like, you are in the wrong network here. We need to learn about your network. Okay. Yep. Blippi's on. So, it's just, and you guys, it's not that he was unsupportive. I'll talk on this for a minute. He just wasn't he was like, yeah, okay, do whatever. And his big thing, and I'll never forget when he looked at me and said this, his ex-wife signed up with Herbalife. Okay. He said she spent $400 on the pack. She got it and it went up in the cupboard. He says she never did a whole lot, but you can try. I use that as so much fuel. And to this day, I will never forget him saying that and the look on his face. And I swear he thought I was going to kill him. But instead of killing him, I had to prove him wrong. Also, killing is illegal, so that's not good. But I had to prove him wrong. You know what I mean? I used that. I didn't get mad. I got upset, but I used it as fuel to push me, to show him that he was wrong. And like I said, he dropped me off in his truck that he's always wanted because of Lavelle, because of the auto bonus program. So if you have an unsupportive spouse, maybe you have family that is unsupportive. You guys, my own grandma is my best friend. And a couple months ago, she looked at me because we were talking about products, and she's a daily thriver. She will not go without. If she runs out of Thrive, she is calling me up. Okay. But she looked at me and she says, I'm really proud of you. I never thought you'd go anywhere with this. And at first I was like, Grandma, come on, like, where's the faith? But then it was like, you know what? There is such a stigma around network marketing that we have to push forward. We have to push beyond what people think we can do. And I'll stop talking because I just looked at the time.
You're good. Blaze, can you tell us how did your husband feel about attending the local? Did he take away any key points or love any specific thing about that event?
He just told me he enjoyed himself. He had fun meeting the new people. And that's all he really told me. He started thriving about maybe 4 or 5 months, babe? About 4 or 5 months ago. So I'm gonna make a year next month. He just started thriving and he enjoys it, but that's all he's told me.
I love it. So it's husband friendly. I love it. Good. You guys bring them there. I mean, my fiance came to Texas. It was his first local. He did come to conference, but it was his first local. He was never unsupportive. I was actually, 3 years deep into Lavelle, already at 200K when we started dating. And kind of funny, I think I don't know if he talked to Drew or Mario about this story. But it might resonate with some of you. When we started dating, I didn't tell him shit about what I did. It's kind of hard to explain because we talked for maybe 2 months before we actually met, and he really didn't know anything about Lavelle. I worked with a nutrition company. That was my spiel of what I did on a daily. And he always wanted to know more because he was super into working out and all that. But when we actually started dating, when we met and started dating, it was about 2 months in. He knew a little bit more about Thrive. But we were actually sitting on the couch one morning and he was looking at the new Ford Raptors. And he's like, God, this truck is just such a badass. I'm like, well, what is it? I don't know shit about trucks. What is it? And he showed me, and you guys, that was days after trucks were added to the auto bonus program. So I looked at it, literally it was days after. I looked at it and I was like, huh. I'm like, oh, you know what you should do? You should join my team and Lavelle will pay for it. He's like, what? What do you mean? And I was like, he had already known that my Mercedes was paid for by Lavelle. So he knew that. And he's like, you didn't tell me that we could do this. I'm like, you want to join my team? Huh? I'm like, I'm not doing it all for you though, bro. You know what you need to do, because he's heard the spiel about 12K. He's like, bet. 2 months, homeboy was 12K. He got his mom, he got his best friends. He was on the phone with his best friends at the gym. He's like, yo, I don't care. You're going to get a package. You're going to try this. You know what I mean? So he saw Ford Raptor. Literally 2 months later, he went and got himself his Ford Raptor. So if you guys have that like skeptic, not sure about a spouse, have him go pick out a vehicle. And you know, even if he's not going to go do it, you help him. You try any way you can to get his account 12K. You know what I mean? So that's always a fun little nit. And Drew was like, so you got your Ford Raptor? He's like, yeah, now I want the trimmer, blah, 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 blah. I'm like, oh God. But you know, dangle a little fruit in front of them. Get them a new truck. Let me see. Okay, with the time, I'm gonna go ahead and pass it over to Shannon for the giveaway before we go to the 100 Days of Brave, you guys. Honestly, actually before that, I'm gonna tell you guys again, because my downline needs to hear it. You guys are gonna hear it 8 million times. Get your butts to a local. It's not only for your business, it's for you. Okay. And this is something that my fiance like preaches to me, because I'm so glued to my phone, and I always tell him, I'm like, my team needs me. Like, I'm in a 3-way. I need I need to walk this customer through the product. Like, something always is going to be happening in my phone. And we've been doing 75 hard. Another thing I took away from Dallas, you guys. Oh, you know what? Just kidding, Shannon. Stand by. I don't want to end this yet. I'm gonna preach to you guys. I have 2 more topics. But we started doing 75 hard, which is a fitness mental challenge. This is a mental challenge. But I tell him all the time, he's like, you need to put your phone down at the gym because we've been working out. And I'm like, I can't. And he's like, you owe yourself an hour. You owe it to yourself. He's like, you need to give it. You got to give this to yourself. You guys, so I want you to keep that in mind when it comes to a local. Y'all, go throw out any excuse. We all have that. We have kids, we have family, we have, you know, there's people have that unsupportive that spouse. But the fact of the matter is, if you want to be at a certain level, this is going to do it. So moving on to my second point, I want you guys to all do me a favor and put in the comments, if you can, not if you're driving, April, but put in the comments what you feel that you need the most help with in this business, and what level you want to be, what rank you want to be by the end of the year. Comment both of those things for me. So do you need help with growing your business, overcoming objectives, helping VIPs, growing your social media, and what rank do you want to be by the end of the year? So what is the biggest thing that you feel, do you need help with gaining promoters or training promoters or getting customers and helping customers? And what rank do you want to be by the end of the year? So go ahead and let's flood the chat with that. Growing my social media. I want to be consistent. I need help getting promoters. I need to grow my network. I need to understand my network. Growing my business, consistency. I want to be 12K. Okay, so all of these things that I'm seeing that you guys are all commenting, that all of you guys have taken the time to comment, everything that you guys, organization, tips, 200K, you guys, everything that you guys are commenting, we go over at the locals. It's all organized with every single topic you guys are saying, and getting to that local is going to take you to that rank. Okay. If we have said anything here today, please just let the one thing that clicked with you is the importance of getting to these events, whether it be a local or whether it be someone's living room social. Like I said, if there's not a local near you, message your 200K and be like, hey, let's plan this. Let's get something going on just to get people together, because it is that important and it is going to help you that much. Okay, I'm gonna stop yelling at y'all because I can get on a rant. So Shannon, go ahead and take it over with the giveaway.
Thank you. Before I do that, I do want to say that she's right. If there's not a local around you that you can get to, make one. My daughter, Star Marie, I know y'all know that name. She got in touch with her 200K, and she made a local for those people that were close to her that were unable to get out and about all over the place. And she had Stephanie Grozick come, she had Judy come, and it was amazing because having those intimate one-on-one conversations change so much for you. You definitely want to get there. That's why I drove 8.5 hours to Toledo. I knew I needed that at that point in time, and I had a magical time. I can't tell you how wonderful it was. But if you've never won on our Morning Vibe Tribe, drop me in the comments. I'm going to read day 24, and then I'll have Brittany pick one of the me's as a winner. Day 24, the need to forgive. Bear with each other and forgive one another. If any of you has a grievance against someone, forgive as the Lord forgave you. Colossians chapter 3, verse 13. When we have been injured or embarrassed, we feel the urge to strike back and to hurt the ones who have hurt us. But Christ instructs us to do otherwise. Christ teaches us forgiveness is God's way, and that the mercy is an integral part of God's plan for our lives. Sorry, I don't know that word. In short, we are commanded to weave the thread of forgiveness into the very fabric of our lives. When someone hurts you, the act of forgiveness is difficult but necessary. Until you forgive, you are trapped in a prison of your own creation. But what if you have tried to forgive and simply can't seem to do so? The solution to your dilemma is this. You simply must make forgiveness a higher priority in your life. Have you sincerely asked God to forgive you for your inability to forgive others? Have you genuinely prayed that those feelings of anger might be swept from your heart? If not, perhaps it's the time to move past your own particular tough times by freeing yourself from the chains of forgiveness. Our quotes today: to be a Christian means to forgive the inexcusable because God has forgiven the inexcusable in you. C.S. Lewis. We must develop and maintain the capacity to forgive. He who is devoid of the power to forgive is devoid of the power to love. There is some good in the worst of us and some evil in the best of us. When we discover this, we are less prone to hate our enemies. Martin Luther King Jr. To forgive is to set a prisoner free and discover that the prisoner was you. Lewis B. Smedes. For further reflection, Mark chapter 18, verses 21 through 22. I'm sorry, that was Matthew. Mark chapter 11, verse 25, Luke 6:37, and Ephesians 4:32. Today's prayer. Heavenly Father, forgiveness is your commandment, and I know that I should forgive others just as you have forgiven me. But genuine forgiveness is difficult. Help me to forgive those who have injured me and deliver me from the traps of anger and bitterness. Forgiveness is your way, Lord. Let it be mine. Amen. I think that fits perfectly into the spouse that does not believe in us when we first start. Forgive them. Give them that little fruit dangling like Brittany was saying, and all will be well. You want to go ahead and pick a winner for us, Britt?
Yeah, we scroll up. Let me get to the me's. Boom. Donna Pettigrew. Sorry if I said your name wrong, but you're the winner.
Congratulations, Donna. If you want to go ahead and send me a message in Messenger, I'll get you the graphic of what you can choose from, and we'll get your address and information. Thank you, everybody. Brittany, Tiffany, Blaze, thank you for a wonderful Wednesday, and have a great day, y'all.
See y'all at the next local.